Alright guys, so far we have built the home page and we have hosted it successfully on GitHub and everything works as expected. So in this video we'll learn how to create a blog page. So this will come as a subdomain of this learningwordpress.github.io. Okay. So before we move on, there's one last thing that we should do, and that is to create a backup. So we'll go to this. So we'll go to our local host website and then we'll go to our dashboard. And here we'll go to all-in-one WP migration. Yeah, so it's a good habit to keep creating backups whenever you make a change. So we'll go and do export to and file, and so it will take some time and it will export this whole website, this whole homepage website. So this is just the homepage, not the full website. So it will export that homepage. Now we'll just do download localhost and we'll save it as homepage. Okay, so we will save it in any secure location and we'll just name it as homepage.wordpress. Okay, so this is done. Now we'll close this. So now everything is secure for this website. Now we'll move on to the next page, which is the blog page. So we'll follow the exact same steps. That is, first we'll go to our GitHub and we'll create another repository. So we'll do new. So as I told you earlier, for each additional page you want, you'll have to create a separate repository. Since we want this repository to be named as blog, we'll name it as blog. Okay, and it should be public, and initialize this with a readme and then create a repository. Okay, so once this is done, we'll go to the settings. Then we'll scroll down and go to this GitHub pages section. Here it by default it is set to none, so we'll go ahead and choose the master branch. Okay, so once this is done, we'll do save. So now it says that your site is ready to be published. So now we have just activated the GitHub pages for this repository. Okay, and it won't be showing now. It will take I think it will take a few moments before it starts to publish on that. So if you click on this, it will take us there. And okay, so it has already started. So you can see this, the only thing here is blog, which is the readme file. So since we don't have anything, it's showing just the readme file. So now we'll update this also the same way as we updated the home page. Okay, let's name it something different, and that is because I already have a blog. I already have a folder named blog, if I see here, which refers to my blog. So let's go for something else. Okay, so we'll go to the settings and name it as something else. So let's say not blog, let's say this is we okay, so not okay, so let's say we want to make this as a profile. Okay, we want to name it as profile. Okay, and then we do rename. So we will just go ahead and verify if it's published, if the website is published on that domain. So scroll down here and publish that profile. We just go there and check if everything's working well, and yeah, this is fine. Okay, so we'll go back to the repository and we'll copy this and we're going to clone it here. Okay, so I'm currently in the www, so we'll come here and do git bash, then git clone, then paste. Okay, run this. So once this is done, this has been now cloned. Now remember that we had unzipped the WordPress file, WordPress zip. So this is here, and so these are the content of that zip. We'll copy this and then we'll go to our www and then to profile and then we'll paste all this here. Okay, so we're basically going through the exact same process. We are installing WordPress here, and then now in this case the procedure will be slightly different since we have already created a website and we have most of the thing laid out. we can directly import it from the backup that we created, and then we can modify this page to look like our blog page or profile page or whatever. Now that this is being copied, we'll go ahead and create another database for this website, for this web page I mean. So we'll go here and we'll go to my PHP admin, then username root, password is none, we'll log in. Exact same procedure we did earlier. We'll go to databases and we'll create another database. We'll go to collation and database name, let's say we want to create it as profile page underscore db. Okay, this underscore db is important, and then we'll go and do create. So this database has been created. Now we can close this and go back here. Sorry, yeah. So as you can see, this thing is copied, so the whole thing is now copied. Now we'll go ahead and try to install WordPress. So we'll go to localhost slash, and what was the name? The name I think was profile. Yeah. So this name basically corresponds to the folder name that we took. So that is profile. So localhost slash profile, and then we run this, and we should see the WordPress installation. Yeah. So now that we have the WordPress installation, we'll follow through the exact same procedure. We'll do continue, and let's go. Database name that we took, that is profile page underscore db. Okay, username will be root, password will be none, the remaining two will be as it is, and then to submit, run the installation. Then site title, so let's say we want to name it as profile. Okay, and username will take the same that we took, learning, password also learning, confirm password, and email I'll take this, and then install WordPress. Okay, so since it is done, we'll do login, we'll do learning, and then remember me, login. So now you can see that we are successfully inside, and now so this is, we are again starting from scratch, and if you remember, we have already created our home page, so we can just import that home page, and then we can do some minor changes to make it look like our profile page. So we are going to import that page. So for that, we'll install this plugin, uh, the all-in-one WP migration plugin. So we're going to install that here. All-in-one, will search for it, and yeah, we'll install this, and then we'll do activate once it is loaded. Yeah, so now that this plugin has been activated, we'll go to all-in-one WP migration, and here we'll go to import. Now since we want to import, we'll go to import from, and then file, and there's one thing that we want to change. So if you see here, it says maximum upload size file size equal to 2 MB. Okay, so it won't allow us to import, and I think our file size was somewhere around 80 MB, so it won't allow us to import such a big size file size. So we'll go and modify some files to in order to make this work. Okay, so what we'll we'll go to this www profile here, and if we see, we have this .htaccess file. So we just have to open it, and we just need to add a few lines of code here. Okay, and I'll share this code in the description. These few lines of code I have it written down here in my Notion notebook. I'll go to notes and then hosting WordPress. So these are just basically a few lines of codes that we need to copy, and we'll paste them here. Okay, and then we'll do save in this .htaccess. We'll close this and close this notebook also. So now if you see, we have updated our .hta file. Okay, so now if we just go and reload this, you should see the maximum file upload file size will change from 2 MB to 512 MB. Yeah, so now it has changed. We'll do import from and then file. So we'll go to volume D, and this is the home page WordPress WPress, that file that we had created. So we'll just do open. It says the import process will overwrite your website including the database, everything. So we'll do proceed. So this is finished now, so we can just go to finish. And yeah, so I think if we just go to profile here now, yeah, so if you see this, now we are in the profile website, profile web page, and this looks exactly like our home page. So now the next step is to modify it, of course. If you notice, we don't have that bar here, and that is because we have not logged in after we imported this website. So what we'll do here, we'll just do wp dash login, okay, and we'll do enter. So now it will take us to the login page. So here we'll put the username and password, and then we log in. Yeah, so now we are in the dashboard, and if you see, we have everything as it is. So we have all these simply static Elementor add-ons. So all of these elements kit, all these plugins have already been imported from there. So now what we'll do is we'll go to the website and we'll modify it the way we want. So we are in the profile here, and now we'll do edit with Elementor again. Okay. Yeah, so now that we have this, we can do a few things. First thing, I don't want this subheading now. I just want, so okay, I'll first open my blog page so that you guys can see and you can decide what to put here. We'll go to our blog. Sorry, this is my blog page. So yeah, I'll go to my blog page here. So as you can see now on my blog page, and you can see all the articles that I have. So it has a very nice transition. Then it has this animated button here and same contacts and the footer and header. So here also I have the sticky header. The only difference here is that I also have a home page, because this now takes me to my home page, and then the contact of course. So what we want to do now is we'll go here, and so if you see, we don't have any button or subtitle, so we're going to remove those. So the subtitle I'll just delete from here, okay, and this also I'll delete. And I don't like this red lining here, whatever it is. So what we'll do is we'll delete this and we'll add another column, okay, and here we can just go and put title, and let's say this is profile, okay, and the text color is black right now, so we'll go and choose white, and then in the typography we'll choose the family as, yeah, so we'll choose Adora, and we'll go ahead. The transform should be capitalized, and here it should be centered, and also we want to increase the font size, so we'll go to typography and increase the size. Okay, I think this is fine. So yeah, if you want, you can change the background. I am fine with it. So it's the same process. You just go to the section, go to style, and then you choose whatever background you want. Okay, so if needed, we can also choose one. So we'll go to upload files, and then we'll select some files, and I'll go to pictures and wallpapers, and let's say we like this, the one that I had used. So we'll select this, and yeah, so now that this is uploaded, we'll just do insert media. So the change should take place. Now if you see, this says profile, and then we have our other pages. So let's say I don't want this gallery here, we'll just delete this section. and I don't want this about also. This get in touch will be common. This contact will be actually common here. The only thing we want to change is we want to put some articles or something like this. Then we'll go here and we'll delete this text first. We'll select this and then we'll do delete. We'll do delete. Yeah. Then we'll delete this whole section. We'll also delete this whole section. Okay. Now we'll go here and we'll go to some. So there are a lot of things that you can choose from here based on what you want. So we'll put some section here. Let's say we want to put two things, two posts here. So we'll just put this section, and here we'll go and search for image box, and then we'll pick and place this. Similarly, so this is the heading. So for heading, let's say we'll do post one something, and here we have some text. Here if you want, we can choose an image. Let's say this image is nice, so we'll just insert this, and image size we can take whatever size we want. I think we can go to custom and then we'll do apply 100 or 200 by 200. Apply. I think it's, yeah. Or we'll just take the medium large size. Okay. And image position will choose left, so it comes like this. And we can do one thing. We can delete this, and what we can do is we'll choose another image box, and we can place it underneath. Okay. Here also we can choose the image position to be left, and then we'll go and choose another image. So let's say this image is nice. We'll pick this image here. So let's say this is post number 2. So here we can edit the heading, that is post 2. Image size same. Okay. Full, and here also let's say we'll choose full only. Full is better. Okay, so this is image size post 1, post 2, and then you can have some text about it, just the way I had in blog. Now to add that transition where it like moves from right to left. Okay. So I'll reload it to show. So it moves like this, right? So we can go here and we can select each post, and we'll change from about to, let's say, post. Okay, we'll come here and go to advanced. Exact same thing, we'll go to motion effects, go here and we'll take whatever we want, like let's say light speed and or slide in left, slide in right. So we'll take slide in right, and for this also we can take slide in right if you want. So we'll go to advanced, motion effects, and then slide in right. Okay, so post 1, post 2, right? So I think this is how my blog page looks. So this is there, and then medium articles, and then these, and there's a button. So let's say we also want to add a button which says if you want, you can visit our medium blog or something. So we'll again go back to the menu pane here and go for button. Sorry. Yeah, so we'll choose the button and we'll place the button here. So we'll center it, and if you see it's pink in color, let's say we want it to be some other color, so we can just go to style, and in style, so there's this normal here, or normal and hover. So for normal we can choose what color we want. So let's say we want this green color here, and for hover we can go to hover similarly, and here a background color, let's say we choose this and we want it to be a little darker. So we'll move a bit towards this side so it looks a bit darker. Okay, then yeah, so now if we go here, you can see this works. At the same time, we also want it to grow. If you see mine grows. I have not put it to become dark, instead it grows in size. So if you want both, so we can just go to hover animation and then choose grow. Okay, so now if you see, this works flawlessly. Now the remaining part is the same, get in touch, and these, I think that's the main part here, and then we'll do update. Now we can go and check if everything works. We'll go to our profile, and so now you can see uh, posts come that way, and this also works. Click here, and this is the get in touch. There's one thing, if you see there's a large amount of space here, so we want to get rid of that space. So if you see my, there's no space, so let's see how to fix that. Okay, so this is actually the padding that was placed. So I suggest it's better if you know, like, make your own section to get rid of that. So what we'll do, we'll create a section here, and we'll choose the single type, and here we'll put each thing one by one. So we'll place this here, the heading, then we'll take this and we'll put it here. Okay, similarly we'll take this also and drag and drop this right underneath the post and the button also. Okay, so we'll take the button and we'll just drag and drop underneath. Okay, now we can get rid of this, and yeah, so now you can see that we've gotten rid of that whole unnecessary space, and this looks fine. We'll do update. We go to our blog and we restart it. Sorry, this is my blog. I'll go to this page, the profile that we created, and if we reload the page, we can see now this is fine, right? If you need some space here, you can go ahead and add the padding. So we can go here and go to advanced, then margin, and here the bottom we can increase the padding. So let's say this is fine, so we can update and this will take effect. So yeah, now you can see there's a small gap here, just as we made here. So this is there. Now there's one problem. If you see, there is no home page. So I don't know how to go back to our home page. To do that, we'll create another, we'll update the menu and we'll add another thing here. So we'll go to our blog and we'll go to our dashboard, and here we'll go to our we'll go to appearance and then menu. So in the menu we just had contact back then, but now we want to have our homepage URL as well. So we'll go to custom links here, and then we'll add the URL, which basically is the URL of our GitHub homepage, the actual GitHub homepage. Okay, not the localhost. So we'll copy this whole thing, and then we'll go here and we'll paste this URL, and the link text will be home. Okay, so this is our home page. Then we'll add this to menu. So now this is added. We want this to be before contact, so we'll place this and then we'll do save menu. Okay, now if we go ahead and reload the page, now you can see a home and contact appears. Okay, and if you scroll down, this whole thing works just as expected. So if you click on home, it takes me to my home page, right? And similarly, if I click on contact, it takes me to the contact section. So this is how you create this post page. Now if you go to my blog, to my website, and if you see, I have also created a portfolio page here. If I click on that, it takes me to my portfolio page, and so I've used similar technique here also. So I've created like sections, and I've placed the heading, subheading, and some text along with this image carousel, which keeps updating, and you also have the option of manually scrolling it, and just like that, like I have done this left indent, right indent, and it's basic stuff to create this portfolio page. So you can go ahead and try this on your own, and I've also added these buttons here. Okay, so this is the exact same thing. They just have some link. You also have the option of including icons. Okay, I can show you how to do that, and you can also embed videos. So it's all about exploring. So you can go ahead and if you go to our website and edit with Elementor, So if you do edit with Elementor, so here you can see there are so many things. You have video, you have a button, you even have icon here. So if let's say I want an icon also here, I can do icon, and so I can put the icon here and choose the icon library and go to GitHub, set GitHub. So this is the thing, and you also have, you know, like motion effects for this. So if you wanted to hover, like to grow when you hover on top, so you can do hover animation to grow. You can change the color if you want. You can also add a link if you want. So if somebody clicks on this, they'll be redirected to another link. For now, I'll just remove this since we don't need it in this page. We can just delete this. So it's like so many options, you know, you can try out. So you have the home and contact page. So I think this is complete. This is almost complete. I think this is actually complete now. So we'll go back to our dashboard, and since we have this completed in our local directory, we'll upload it to GitHub. So to do that, we'll go to simply static and we'll go to generate. Sorry, before that we'll go to settings. So this, the settings are actually, you know, made for, so these are the settings that we had for our original website. So now we'll have to change it for our profile website. So this part will remain almost the same. The only thing here is that we'll have to include profile at the end. So this is the thing, local directory. So local directory will change. This will have to change because we are now in profile. So we'll update this to profile instead of our home page. Then we'll go to include exclude, and here I think everything is the same. This is the same. WP content uploads. There's one more thing. So here temporary files directory, you can see this says learning WordPress or github.io. So here change this to profile. Okay, so and these values, the reason why they say this is because we had imported it from our home page. So that's why they have this, you know, like information about the home page itself. So we'll go and save the changes. We'll go to generate on simply static, and then we are going to generate the static files. Okay, so we'll do generate static files. So I'll repeat once again, this is going to generate static web pages from these dynamic web pages, and that is because GitHub only allows us to host static web pages and not dynamic web pages. So we're going to create some static files and then we'll commit these changes. So now we can see that the static files have been generated. Now there's one more thing we want to do. Since we have made changes to this website, we'll go ahead and create a backup. We'll go to all-in-one WP migration, and here we'll go and export to and file. So now we can see that size is 94 MB, so we can just download and download it as profile.wp WordPress. Okay. Okay. The last one was homepage.wp. This will be profile.wp. Okay. We'll to save. We'll close this. Now we'll have to like commit the changes to our repo. We'll go to WP content first, and if you see there's a big file which is 96 MB. We want to delete this. So this is because whenever we run all-in-one WP migration, it creates it creates a copy of the backup inside this file, and when we commit these changes, that file size is quite huge, and we don't want to commit the same thing again and again. So we'll delete it whenever we have to commit. Okay. So once we are here, we'll go to git bash, and here we'll check. So if you see there are so many files which are uncommitted, so we'll go ahead and add these to the staging area. Okay, now we'll do commit, and we'll write the commit message as profile page. Okay, so this is committed, I think. Yeah, so now that this is committed, we'll do a git push. Okay, alright guys, so the changes have been pushed to the remote server. Now we can go ahead and see if our website is updated or not. So our website will be learningwordpress.github.io/pr. And yeah, so you can see that it loads just the way we wanted. And if we go to home, it takes us back to our home page, right? But there is one small problem. If we don't have a button, like we don't have a menu to go back to our profile page, so we'll make that change. Also, we want to check the sources, so we'll do Control Shift I and see if localhost is a source. And yes, localhost is a source. So basically this image Steffi Pereira, so this image is being loaded from the localhost, so we want to change that also. So we'll use the exact same procedure to do that. So what we'll do, we'll go to our repository here, and if we refresh now, the file should appear. That's the profile repository. Yeah, so here also we'll go to WP content, then we'll go into uploads, then 2020, then 08, and here if we see there's this Steffi Pereira Unsplash, so we'll choose the scaled. Okay, so whenever we are going for something, it's always better to choose the scaled. The thing is, whatever image we upload into WordPress, it creates multiple copies of that at different scales. So you can see this is 1024 by 683, this is 150 by 150, this is 1536 by 1024. So it creates multiple copies of that of the same image at different scales. So we can choose whatever one we want, and it's better to choose the scaled versions because these are most likely compressed. And if we choose this original image, so this one might be, like 1 or 2 MB in size, so then it becomes difficult to load. So if the viewer has a slow internet connection and if he loads your website, then he won't be, so this image will take time to load, so it won't appear nice. So it's better we choose the scaled version. So we go there and then we go to download. So you can see it's just 500 KB in size. This is not even an MB. So we'll copy this link and we'll repeat the exact same process that we did for the home page. So we are in profile, we'll go to WP content again. So will go to uploads, then we'll go to Elementor, then we'll go to CSS, and we'll always choose the top CSS file. So we'll select this, and now the same way we'll go and update this localhost image here. As you can see, this has localhost, so we'll delete this and we'll replace with the one that we just copied. So now we'll save this and we'll close this, and now we'll go here to our profile and go to git bash, and here we'll check the status. So you can see one file has been modified, so we're going to add this to the staging area and then git commit with a message that we are modifying the okay. Now we'll do a git push, so we'll update this change on the remote server. Now this change will take some time to take effect, so meanwhile we'll go and add the menu, the profile menu to our home page. So if we go to our home page, then we'll see that, so here we can see that there is no profile page, so there's no way we can go to the profile page directly. So we're going to add this now. We'll go to our local host, and here instead of profile we'll do learning WordPress GitHub.io, and then here we'll now go to our dashboard and now we'll go to app appearance and menu, and here we'll add another link to the menu which will basically be this learning WordPress GitHub.io/profile. Okay, we'll take this link and yeah, so here we'll paste this URL and the name will be profile. Okay, so we'll add this to the menu and here we'll move this on the top, so profile and then contact. Now we'll save this. So now if you go to our website on the local host, so currently we're on the local host only, so here we can see we have profile and contact now. And if we put the cursor here on the bottom left hand corner, we can see it says learning wordpress.github.io/profile. So it's going to redirect us to the profile, to the right page. Okay, so now we'll have to make the changes. So now we made the changes in the local, now we have to update it so that these changes are reflected in the remote host also. So we'll go to the simply static and then to generate, and here we'll click on generate static files. Now remember, we are doing this in the home page. So anytime you make some changes and you're going to commit these to those changes to the remote repository, then before doing that you must generate a static web page through this, and then only you should commit. And once you commit, you should go to all-in-one WP migration, and you should also create a backup. So now the static web pages have been generated. You can see it took 1 minute 28 seconds. So now we'll go here and we will close this. Now we'll go to our home page, which is learning.wordpress.github.io, and here we'll go and see if that we'll go to WP content and to those backups, and if you see there's already a backup file, so we'll always delete this file before we commit changes. And then we'll go to git bash and then git. So if you check the status, we see one file has been modified, index.html. Now before we commit any changes, we should go back and see if the background image is being taken from the local host again. So we'll go to WP content and then to uploads and then Elementor and CSS host the top file, and we'll scroll here and then we'll see. No, so this is correct now, so it has not been updated, so that's how we want it to be, so it's cool. So we'll now go back to our repository, our homepage repository, and then we'll open git bash. Now we'll do git add dash, we'll add the changes to the staging area, then we'll commit these changes, the message saying we added profile menu. Okay, I think this is cool. Then we do a git push, so these changes will be pushed to the remote repository, and in a moment we should be able to see these changes. Okay, so now that those changes have been committed, we'll now go ahead and make a backup. So we are going to all-in-one WP migration, export, and then export to file. So whenever you make any changes, it's always better to keep the latest backup always ready, so that if in case something goes wrong, you delete some files by mistake, you always have that file where you can import the whole website. Now we'll download this localhost, and here we'll again save it as homepage.wpress. Homepage, save. So it says we want to replace it, we do yes, so that we always have the updated version, and then we'll close this. So now we have done pretty much everything. So if we go back and if we go to our website now, learning.wordpress.github.io, so the changes have not yet taken place, that's why we're not able to see. And if we go to the local website, then these changes should be there. Yeah, so here you can see profile and contact, but on the remote server these changes are not yet visible. Yeah, so now you can see after refreshing, we can see profile is there and contact is there. Now if we click on profile, it will take me to the profile page. Okay, and these posts are there, this click button is there. Now we'll go ahead and check if, yeah, so here also you can see that there's no local host, so everything is working fine. So if there is local host, then we'll have to go ahead and change that that image source from localhost to this raw GitHub. So everything is working the way we wanted it to be. We can click on home page and then we can go back to the home page here. So this is basically how you create a website using WordPress and host it on GitHub pages. And so if you see, this whole process is free. So we created a website without any single piece of coding, without like any hosting, like without actually buying any domain. So it's completely free and it's very easy to do and anybody can do it. Now what I want you guys to do is, you guys try this now and try to explore Elementor more and more. So the more you explore, the more you try out different items in the menu, the better you'll get at it. So it's all about exploration. Also, if you guys face any problem in any of these steps, you can ask me in the comments or you can contact me. So you can visit my website and you can contact me on through my email or anyway. I'll try my best to answer your questions. So that's it, guys. If you found this tutorial helpful and you got to learn something from it, please consider liking this video. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next one.